I always wanted to be you, man. Always.
Check one.
Pseudo.
Check.
Pseudo.
Check two.
Pseudo. 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 Pseudo.
Whatever.
Tone. 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 Act. Art. Act. Art. Act. Art. Pseudo.
I can't right the wrong by writing.
Hey, my name's Tone. I'm 1/3 of Pseudo Intellectuals, also half of Freddie Marr. I was in cinematics. I'm a Buffalo-based producer and MC. Yeah, that's me.
This is the Downbeat. My name is Agent O, and we are going to get into documenting some of the production of the wonderfully talented Tone Atlas.
No, to be honest, too, the more you once you start doing it and you start watching people doing it, changes the whole game, and you watch things in a different way as well, right?
Work that you've worked on?
Well, I'll tell you, my favorite stuff is the stuff I did with my friends, my brother Nick, and Cut, Pseudo Intellectual stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite shit we've done. But I've worked with all kinds of people around town, you know, yourself included.
Right.
I don't even know, Third. I know the Third. We just put out an album with him. That's maybe my favorite thing I've ever done. Doing more production, I'm doing more mixing. Is something I just recently got into. You know, Cut and I got on the phone in early 2020, and we're like, yo, let's give it one more push, make a lot of music.
Yeah.
And we got linked up with Chopped Herring Records, which has been a godsend because he's been putting our stuff out.
So when did you first start getting involved in production?
Spade had me over, he showed me the MPC, and the rest was history. And I went immediately and maxed out a credit card I never paid off.
So you've been primarily NPC dude your whole
100%. Well, actually, between at some point in there, I had Cakewalk, and it really was not working out. But so yeah, basically always been an MPC. MPC guy. I had the 2000. Then I got the XL, and I sold Shane, B-Boy Dupree. I sold him my first MPC, and that's how he started making beats, was on my first MPC, which then I bought the one with the first compact flash drive.
Yeah.
And now I use the Live.
So hey, I don't want to blow your ego up or anything.
Please do.
But this is just my personal opinion, but I feel like you may be responsible for influencing the sound of Buffalo more so than any producer else that came out of Buffalo ever.
Whoa.
I mean, I don't even know if that's a question.
Yeah, I don't even know how to respond, but I appreciate it.
I mean, at least for the golden age of production in Buffalo, right? And all the dudes that's serious sample heads and record diggers, man, everybody is gonna say, hey, yo, at some point in time, Tone Atlas defined, or not defined, but it really influenced what I was doing, man. Can you speak?
Yeah, I'll speak about it. I appreciate that. A lot of the dudes that were really good from here moved away, so they weren't around when we were coming up. Cochise was gone, and I only knew him from lore, and he was an idol of mine. And Cochise and Emil, I would just look up what those guys were up to, but I never met them back then. They were gone, and they were doing crazy stuff. Right. So I felt it was kind of on us to just figure it out and fight through and build. And I think it might have a lot to do with one, that cohesion. I think in our movement, we had such a good cohesive movement where everybody's building off of each other. We're recording each other and doing all this stuff. So, and everybody's helping each other. So anyhow, I guess I remember I'm trying to even think maybe Derringer was the first dude to hit me up, and and he was just a cool ass dude because it wasn't just about me showing him. He brought crazy records through. His dad had a crazy record collection, and his dad is a well-respected local jazz musician. So I'm trying to think if maybe he was the first person I started getting up with regularly. But yeah, he would come through a lot, and he was the main one. And then later, Program hit me up and was like, yo, can I pick your brain? And
I feel like at some point everybody with an MPC, anybody that was sampling, came to you and was like, "Yo, Tone, what's up?" From Pastime, when Pastime
Pastime too,
first started producing, you know, Derringer, Program, the list just go myself, like.
But then I realized, even with them, they were using a specific kind of like, more soul jazz kind of oriented. I was like, let me dig back into the vaults, and that's really what I think made mine stuff a little bit different, maybe. And sometimes I don't even feel like it's that different because whenever I find myself described, people be like, "Oh, you make music? What kind of music do you make?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like, it's like De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest." And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, like that." But so I think that's cool, and so I think part of it is then understanding that, because even with Derringer, he's the perfect example. He it wasn't just me. He was like learning and building from, because he was over with Cut.
Right.
He was kicking it with Scott Down, who was peeping him on the records, and then you take all of those influences and you kind of create. Once you're good enough and you kind of understand all of your influence, you can be then, an original kind. There's a little piece in there somewhere. Oh yeah, maybe we'll come back to that one. Listen, these are maybe my favorite albums, these three. Interestingly, so we got Illmatic and Enter the Stage, and Downbeat Ep Beat is one of my top albums. That might be
mine as well.
As well. I like those guys who are like really good at both.
Over all the years, man, is there one technique or piece of equipment that you would say like is a secret sauce for you that you would want to part with that you feel like most other producers don't know about?
I got two parts to this question, and the answer is basically records. In knowing records well and listening to records a lot, like that's my whole process is built around records. And it's just my process. Like I like all kinds of beats, but my process is records. And so the first part, I would say my secret tool is having Cut, because Cut is like the breakbeat king. So I've never had to like stress for drums. So I think drums are really important, especially with hip hop, and so I've never had a problem with having really good drums, because I have a best friend who's like the best drum digger. I mean, maybe not the best, but like, I think Scott Down immediately is giving me a million drum breaks too, but Cut is like my ace and constantly feeding me drums,
So hey, I think we're gonna just delve into this,
all
man, and we're gonna see how you do your thing. We're gonna watch how you sample records, etc., etc.
Let the records take me where they take me. Here's the intro. Just let the records take me where they take me. Timing was bad. That like when I get a block, it'll be a big block, and then what I do is I'll try to just grab a sample and redo a sample. I wanted to like, oh, hello. Angelo Luciano, it was been a dream of mine for a while to do an album with him and a proper album for him, and we just did that one, and I feel really good about it. But like making beats for someone, let me think. Oh, I mean, like, I guess I would say like, I don't know who I'd fit with, but my favorite MC is probably Pharoah Monch of all time. Oh man, that's gonna have to be chopped up right there. Like I probably won't use this part, but Doom, Yeah, I like a lot of, Count Basie would be fun too. The people, maybe I could hit him up. Breeze Bruin, okay, Breezely Bruin. I would like to do something with him one day. Oh yeah, see? This shit is crazy. It's not on beat, really. So we'll just get it for sounds, which is fine. But anyway, when you put two drum loops together, you know, you put those two snares together, especially if they're different sounding snares, which these two are right here, you know, it makes something new and cool. So basically, this is, if I could start a beat, this is how it would start it every time, is with a nice bass line, you build around it. I usually, we'll see how far we get, but like I try to figure out the bass line, and I like to sit with this now. Let's try these out just for now.